Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Slow Burn. It's a Tuesday, so you know what it means. We are playing an artisanal Sudoku puzzle from James Sinclair. Now, today's specific puzzle is from James, as opposed to another constructor that submitted it to the series. And once again, I am featuring the third free puzzle on that email list, where there are two versions. So when you get to pick, down in the description, there will be two links. One, which is the one that I am playing as requested by this group. And then the second one is where you have some additional clues to make this a little bit easier. Like past experience says, the one with extra clues basically plays like a 1-star difficulty rated puzzle. The one without the extra clues plays more like a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle. So pick your own adventure as always. Now, I am genuinely hoping that today's puzzle is not really going to be a slow burn. Between dinner and Mrs. Sleuth is this puzzle, so hopefully it's not going to be a slow burner. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Slow Burn by James Sinclair and the following set of rules. He does say up front, normal Sudoku rules apply and all clues are standard. So if you're familiar with odds and evens, killer cages, arrow sums, you know what to do. Pick your own adventure in the links down below. On the off chance that you're not familiar with these, normal Sudoku, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row. Every column, of course, and then every 3x3 box. The cages, the sum to the digits inside each cage is equal to the small number in the top left corner, and digits cannot repeat within a cage. So these two cells add up to 9, these two cells add up to 6, these 5 cells add up to 15. Digits cannot repeat, so even though these two cells are clearly in different rows, columns, and boxes, so normally under Sudoku they could actually have the same digit, the fact that they're inside the same cage, no, they're not allowed to. We've got arrow sums, so the sum of the digits along an arrow is equal to the digit in the connected circle, and these digits can repeat if allowed by other rules. So these two cells add up to a value, and that value will be inside that circle. Same with these two values, same with these two values. I can absolutely repeat digits. I can have a double 2 with a 4 in here. That's allowed under today's rules. Right, last rule is digits in a cell with a shaded square must be even. The digits in the cell with a shaded circle must be odd. So squares are, of course, even, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Circles, of which I can only see one, is 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. It's an odd digit. Fairly straightforward set of rules. I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue as I've been looking at this. So, as always, if you want to play along, link in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Sorry, I'm taking it all in. So I haven't got a huge number of ideas right now. Okay, I'll think out loud. I'm looking at the 5s because, of course, there can only be kind of one or two variants in two cells, 1, 4, 2, 3. They can actually be the same one because, there's only 2 of them in the same box where they can't be the same. So technically, this is just 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to pencil mark that. 15 cage, of course, is forced with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the only way to get 15 in 5 cells, given none of them can repeat. And then I'm kind of seeing the structure of this puzzle pointing me towards this cell, which is an even digit. So we know it's from 2, 4, 6, or 8. Right, here is my first idea. I can see in column 2, 1 even, 2 even digits, and then there's definitely a third inside the 9 cage. Can't get to an odd digit without 1 even digit and 1 odd digit. So with 3 even digits, the 14 cage cannot be 6, 8, because I would have 5 even digits now, and there's only 4 of them in Sudoku. So this is definitely a 5, 9 setup. Let's actually pencil mark this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I now know these are not 5s. Now, technically, a 2 is entirely achievable. I could have a double 1. I'm actually leaning to the fact that these digits are very highly likely the same. Let me kind of explain how I'm thinking about this. I'm going to color, although I'm almost regretting that I've gone for the shaded version, where the colors might not work very well. Excuse me. So if this color is not yellow, I also know it's not blue, green, orange, or red. So that would mean that the minimum would be a 6. And you can already see just how much pressure it's placing on this, given the maximum here is an 8. So this is either 6 or 7, or yellow. Now, if it is yellow, of course it would be an even digit to get to the half of whatever this value is. So if it's, no, it's not an even digit. So it's either 1, 2, 3, or 4 to be yellow, and then double yellow will get me to an even digit. What is interesting is yellow can't be a 5 either, is what I'm seeing. Let me explain. If this is a 5, well, these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, this is not 1, 2, 3, or 4, and therefore it's at least a 5. And then a double 5 will, of course, get me to 10. It's an even digit, but it's not going to work in Sudoku. So 5 doesn't actually work in here. 5 is now forced in here, which makes this 14 cage 6, 8. Because it's not 5, 9 anymore. And then if it's 6, 8, well, that's not 6, 8. This is 2 or 4. This is an extremely low set of digits in here. Clearly, it's not 6, 7. And clearly, we do have double yellow now to make this work. And yellow now is restricted to 1 or 2 because a double 3 will not work. It will get me to 6 or higher, which is not allowed. Now, the 6 cage, same deduction that I made earlier. I've got 3 even digits. 2, 4 would break the puzzle. This has to be a 1, 5. This makes this odd digit 3, 7, 9. This makes this even digit 2 or 4. I'm out of ideas. I know green is not 1 or 2. You see, yellow can't be inside this 5. So the 5 has to be, one of them is 1, 2, one of them is 3, 4. If I have a double 1, 2 in here, well, I can't get to 5 anymore. So this green has to be 3 or 4. And then, essentially, this is not green or yellow. That's kind of stating the obvious of it, I know. But another 2 sets of digits that add up to 5 from blue, orange, and yellow. I don't know if the colors are helpful. It's helpful in me communicating what I'm doing. I don't know if it's actually helping me in my solve. Okay. What else do I know? To be honest, very little. There's a ton of information, but I'm kind of struggling with this a bit. Right, yellow. Right, let's use colors again. Yellow's in none of these. Yellow is up front. Look at that. Yellow has to be now, by Sudoku, in one of these 3 cells. And it's an even digit. It's not 3, 7, or 9. So it's not an even digit. It's 1 or 2. It's not 3, 7, or 9. It's not a 5. It's definitely a 1. So this is double 1. This is a 2. The yellow is clearly no longer here. That is my yellow. That's my 1. These are not 1s. Neither is this one for that matter. This one here means that is a 2, 3 puzzle. 2, 3, 5 cage, I meant to say, which means that's got to be a 4. It can't be 3. So none of these are 4s anymore. And then this is 2, 3. Same thing here is actually, this is another 2, 3, because it's not 1, 4. Oh, lovely puzzle. 2, 3 pair, looking at this cell, that's got to be my 5. That is not my 5. So essentially what I have in here is blues and reds. Sorry, thinking. Trying to kind of appreciate it all. I'll appreciate kind of next 1, 2, 3. Minimum for these 2 digits is 4, 5. This is a 9. That is not a 9. I'm liking this puzzle. I'm really liking this puzzle. I'm struggling a bit. It's like you're really having to work for every deduction here. Excuse me. Nine cage maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is clearly now 5, 6, 7, or 8. And this is 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's not that big of a deduction. Like, I almost feel like I'm wasting my time with this, if I'm honest. I'm going to move on. This is 4, 6, or 8. There's another 4, 6, or 8 in here. We know it's not 4, because 4, 5 is not available. So we know that this is 1, 8, or 3, 6. Not too sure. It feels like I'm heading in the wrong direction here. This cell is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. 9 is not here. No, I'm off in the wrong direction again. Oh, come on, Sleuth. 9, 5, 9, 4, 5. That 4 gave me a 2, 3, and of course a 2. Sometimes I get stuck on total basics. That is not a 2, that is not a 7. Look at nines, that is a 9. That's not a 9. It does give me a 6, 7, 8 triple. Sorry. If anybody ever rings the sleuth doorbell, we have a second one that follows up to make sure that we've heard it, as you've seen. So apologies for that. That was probably dinner, so I really need to pick up the pace a bit here. So 5, 6, 8, 7. 5's not here. 5's one of these two cells. 5's are lining up in columns 8 and 9. 5 is in one of these 3 cells. I keep thinking about this 9 cage might be useful. I mean, this one hasn't been very useful if I'm honest, but... So we know that this is not 1, 2, or 3. It technically could be 4 or 5. Can't be 5, 4. Can't be 6, 3. Can't be 7, 2. Could be 8, 1. So it's severely limited. Like, severely limited. And then in the rest of this column, there's another 6, 7, 8, and then another 1, 5. And then obviously this is still adding up to 9, so I should probably do something with that. I'm going to pencil mark horrendously and then eliminate a bunch of options, because that's basically kind of the full list. I know this can't be 8 because that can't be 1. 7 with a 2 is possible. Essentially, these 2 would be 3. This would be the 2, and I could have a 2 in here. So 7 and 2 works. 6 and 3 works for the exact same reason. 5 and 4 works. Then 1 and 8 works. It would make this 5, 4. Yeah, I'm not quite liking this. I feel like I'm missing tons still. I mean, that being odd, I feel like I haven't really made much of it. So what is the rest of this? 479? Not useful. Like, at all. I've so far ignored the 26 cage. And I probably should do something with it. Before I go down that route, right, actually, 1, 1, 1 is in here. Yeah, before I go down that route, I was just basically checking for some obvious Sudoku. Whereas 1 in box 7 is in here. This is 1, 8. That means that can't be 8, 1. That's 4, 5, if I can type. That means that is not a 5. Not exactly helpful. 4s, that's a 4 up here. This is a 7, 9 pair. That is not a 7. This is another 6, 8. Yeah, Sleuth, 2 more Sudoku. That is not a 5. I should get to the 6Ks in a second. I think you're being almost like led around by the nose by this construction to, I need some data here on column 9, like I have in row 9, to kind of work towards this arrow, I feel. So another 6, 7, 8, another 2, 3, and a 9. Where is 9, Sleuth? Well, it's not going to be on the 2 arrows, is it? That's my 9. Which says this isn't 9, which is actually a helpful deduction. Again, just scouring for Sudoku deductions, like here's a 4. Just row 2, where is the 4? Well, it's not this cell. That's another 7, 9. 4s now, well, it's none of these. Where is it in box 7? That's a 4. 4, I was about to say is inside the 26 cage. That is not true. It's in one of these 3 cells. It's almost at the point where I should take a look at the 26 cage. Almost. I'm just going to tidy up column 2 like I did with row 2, see if there's any more deductions I can make here. So the rest of this is 6, 7, 8. No, 6, 7, 2. No, 6, 7. Sleuth, come on. 6, 7, 3. Not helpful. Actually, 3, 7. Sorry. The 4 is correct. That could have been a 3. My mistake. So yeah, I can plug these in, but I don't know if it's buying me anything. Yes, it is. 2, 3 pair. No 3. No 3 is a 3. Not a 3 is a 3. 2, 3, 2, 3. Lovely. That is not a 6 anymore, because that can't be a 3. So it's either 7, 2 or 1, 8. 2, 6, 7, 8. So this is 2, 6, 7, or 8. I am probably very close to actually having some useful information here. Just again, scouring for any Sudoku clues that would help. They're very subtle. You see, what I'm trying to do is, what I'm trying to avoid doing is coming up with a very complicated set of pencil marks that is just a total waste of time. And the reason I'm saying that is, if you think about 26 in 4 cells, if I put in the absolute maximum of 7, 8, 9, I can get away with a digit as low as 2 to get to 26. So, like, literally, the only thing I can say about the 26 cage is it doesn't have a 1, which is like not remotely useful. To be fair, a 2 is quite difficult to fit in. I would have to get 7, 8, 9. And 2, you can see, is if it's not inside the box, it's in here, which will allow me to make some progress there. So it may be worthwhile trying to eliminate the 2 from inside the 26 cage. So essentially, like I said, to get to 2 in here, it would be 2 plus 7, 8, 9. That is not a 2, otherwise these would be double 1s, including the ones in these 2 cells in the same box. So I know that's not a 2. I also know it's not a 9. So it's 7 or 8. It's definitely not a 4. Now, how can I determine, because if it could be a 4. It's just in my example when I'm trying to prove the 2 is not inside the 26 cage, it's not a 4. Right, so if it is 7 or 8, let's have a think about how would I get to either of them. And I probably, at this point, should fully pencil mark what this is. This is 2, 6, 7, or 8. To get to the 7, that would need to be 2 and 5 doesn't work. 6 and 1 does work. With the 8, 2 and 6 does work. As 6 and 2 doesn't, as does 7 and 1. So far, this is only 1 or 6 in my scenario. Now, that's for 7 or 8, and I've proven with this side that both of them work. Now, on this arrow, so I'm going to remove this before I do something silly later on. You can see I can't have 4s. I can't have 2, 5. So it's not 3, 4, it's not 2, 5. It would have to be 1, 6. A 1, 6 pair to get to a 7 in here does work with different 1, 6s. An 8 would require, well, 1, 7 looks like it works. 2 with a 6 in here looks like it works. And then 3, 5 looks like it works as well. So, in this example, I was trying to get to the fact that there is a 2 in here. So I obviously don't want a 2 in there. So the 2, 6 option is probably what I'm trying to remove. But the 6 was still there for the 1, 7 option. So long story short, obviously that can't be 7 because for me to have a 2 in here, the 7, 8, and 9s are also in there. So that wouldn't have been 7 either. And it's not 5 because of how the 5s are lining up. So I'm limited to 1 or 6. All right, so let's redo this again. So to get to 7 with 1 and 6, this could be 1 or 6. To get to an 8, 1 and 7 works, 6 and 2 doesn't. The interesting thing, though, is in all of this, I absolutely have demonstrated that there could be a 2 in here. 2's not there. 2's here. 2 is here. 2 is in one of these two cells. Maybe I should move on from my obsession with the 2. I should probably move on from my obsession with the 2. In this example as well with the 2, so essentially 1 7 works. No, 1 7 doesn't work in my example, because 1 7 is to get to 8, which would make this 6, and would make this 2, which is not possible. So 1 7 doesn't work. So my example, this wouldn't be 7, obviously it couldn't be 8, so it'd have to be 2 or 6. And obviously because the 2 is in, it doesn't matter, the 2 could be here. And then my 1 6 example, yeah, 2 with a 6 or 1 with a 6 to get to 7 or 8. Interesting. So what have I learned in this entire exercise? I'm going to say nothing useful. Oh, I've missed it. 3 is inside the 26 cage. I could have saved myself 3 minutes there, which means the 2 is definitely outside it, because I can't have both the 2 and the 3 adding up to 5, and then 2 more digits that add up to 21. So that's 8, that's 1, that's 6, that's 8, that's 7, that's 6, that's 8, that's 6. That leaves me with a 2 for sure in here, and whatever's left in there, 7. Doesn't resolve my 1 8, almost doesn't matter at this point. I'm gonna remove the 7 8 from here and just try and appreciate what am I now doing with this, with inside. Right, I think it's entirely forced. With 3 in there for sure, again, Sudoku, to get to 23, and then the 3 to get to 26, it's entirely forced. This can only be 6 8 9. 6 and 9 can't be here. This is 6 and 9. This means that, again, no 4 is a 4, is a 5, 3 and 8. Now, does 3 work? 3 with a 1 here, a 2 there, and a 1 there actually works. 8 would require a 6 in here, because this is 2, and it doesn't. This is 3, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1. This is not 1 8. This is an 8 now. That 1 2 gave me a 5 at the top, a 1 in here, a 2 there, a 5 here, a 6 3 there. 6 has given me a 7, a 6. Haven't resolved these. I don't know why this says 3, just remove it. Probably some mistake. That 1 gives me a 1 in here. That is not a 2. That is not a 2. That is a 2. That 1 gave me 8 and 1. And I think we've pretty much broken the back of this puzzle. And a bunch of quick Sudoku will get us home. And hopefully not too unhappy Mrs. Sleuth about keeping her waiting for dinner. She's had a long day. So I need 7, 6, and 9. Gives me a 6, 7, 9 triple. I know what these are. 4 that can only be up. Oh, no, I've got the 4. Where's 4 in this box? I can't do simple stuff. 4, 4, 4. That means that this is 7. 9 is not here. That's 9. That's 6. That's 9. Right, let's try that again. I now need 6 and 8 in here. That's not 6, that's 8, that's 6. That is 7. That's 9, that's 7. Right, some more pencil marks to get me home. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 and 8 at the top. not resolved. But this one is, that's a 9. That puts a 9 down here. This is just a known digit. I should just place it. That's 8. That's 5. That's 8. I need 6 and something. 6 and 3. Not resolved. I have this cell, which is a 6, which resolves it immediately. And then I need a 3, 4, 5. And if I've not made any mistakes, 7 for the finish. Absolutely stunning puzzle. I wish I saw the 4s earlier. 4s, 3s earlier. That would have saved me a ton of time. But otherwise, pretty happy with the solve. So I hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.